Can you see me? And can you hear me? I'm hoping that that's working well.
Nope.
No? Damn. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to start all this over again. But I figured this will be a good time to start up the, I gotta get this camera angle better. That's a little better. That way you can actually see what I'm doing over here. So, can't see. I'm suspicious about the second one because I'm pretty sure you'd be able to hear me because it says it's picking up the tones. No, like not being able to see them, that I can understand because, the mustache can kind of cover it up. But can you hear me while I'm sitting like this? Like, is this okay? I want to make sure that you guys can hear what I'm actually saying when I'm looking at the puzzle. Sounds good? Cool. Okay. So, starting this off, because I plan on making this a highlight and open this whole thing as a separate section on YouTube, so that way we can follow along as time goes on. First one tonight is probably going to be a little short, so it's going to be a lot of, setup. But, for those of you that weren't here when I made the announcement about this, this is an advent calendar that is by a company that does escape room games, like board games, called Exit. It's a brand by Cosmos. A little bit hard to see in the lower right there, so I might actually raise this up just a tad. There you go. Now you can see the whole box. Mostly. Okay. Right about there, you can see the whole box. So this is a full escape room. Everything that you need comes in the box. And it requires a little bit of setup. Like a little bit of setup. Teeny tiny bit of setup. I gotta move this wire out of the way. So once you open the box, you get a whole advent calendar in this box. Comes with a story that tells you exactly what's happening, a puzzle solver, or not a puzzle solver, but like a solution, not a solution. This shows you how you get your codes, and it basically tells you, once you find the answer, you put it in here. Then when you flip it over, it gives you the code for what room you're going to. So, with that in mind, let's take a look. Just tearing these things, because this is all it's not a book, it's like a tear-offable sheets. Some of them are actually you have to cut with scissors, some of them are perforated. But basically it gives you a set of instructions that tells you this is your game board. This is how you solve all these puzzles. And I'm pretty sure the cover is completely torn off. No, it's not. Okay. So, since I am aware of how this all functions. Hey, George. So, you just popped in at the perfect time because we are in the middle of trying to take a look at this puzzle box, or puzzle board game. So, we should be able to get through the first one, hopefully, relatively quickly. I am going to need a pencil or a pen at some point to be able to mark down where number 2 is. Weirdly enough, I don't actually have a pencil here. Ah, there it is. Really? Really? You're turning the lights out just as we're getting going on this. Granted, I could forgive that one because that's probably setting the atmosphere. But we have a story that goes along with this puzzle. I don't really have any music for it, but we have sound effects for it. The prologue. You take a last few steps through the deep powder snow and turn around. Your gaze wanders over the snow-covered valley. Down there in that tiny town, people are probably already busy decorating their homes, ready for Christmas. You take a few deep breaths, and the cold air burns your lungs, already strained from the climb. But at least there is air, clear and pure. No comparison to the city air that you, unlike your friends, left behind you. Your friends only seem bothered about Christmas this and Christmas that. Not the only ones either, given how deserted the ski lifts and slopes seem to be. You quietly celebrate your decision to take a spontaneous skiing holiday alone. It's wonderfully serene up here. You look around and finally find the trail markers that will lead you to the best ski run in the area. You leave the beautiful panorama behind and follow the signpost over the next hill. As you strap your skis under your boots, it suddenly becomes strangely dark. Deep gray clouds have gathered over you and threaten to block out the daylight. Thankfully, the snow still reflects enough light to continue, but you will need to step up a gear if I missed the line here. If you really enjoy this descent, if you want to really enjoy the descent. Here but stretching, gotcha, bun. As you begin to ski in earnest, thick snowflakes begin to fall. This doesn't improve your view, but there's still nothing to worry about. Your skis slide rhythmically over the top snow, and you enjoy the solitude. On the slope ahead, you spot a long metal rod protruding from the snow. You slow down and stop. Is this still a slope marker? The flakes are falling more and more densely, and you are beginning to find it difficult to orient yourself. A little further along, you see a second steel pole. It is not necessarily the usual kind of marker, but after all, this is not a busy run either. You continue on down the slope more cautiously. As you ski, you notice more and more bare rocks around you. This can't be right, can it? Your path leads alongside high rock faces and dangerous-looking abysses. Did the metal marker lead you in the right direction? You decide to take a short break. After all, the situation can only be improved with a snack and a chance to sit and plan in peace about how to safely return to the main run. Searching, you let your gaze wander over the slopes. Suddenly, something cracks loudly behind you. You turn around, but all you see is snow and rock. Then you hear a deep rumble. The mountain seems to tremble, and your skis begin to vibrate. The snow begins to move under your feet, and a sliver of panic seizes you. An avalanche! Your heart is racing. Your mind screams over and over. Damn, help. But your body instinctively knows what to do and takes control. You lean into your skis and head in the same direction as the tumbling snow. Behind and beside you, the white mass thunders down. Now all you can think about is not getting buried. The snow seems to be forcing you directly towards a sheer rock wall, and your mind clicks into gear. You have to change course right now, otherwise you will be crushed between the snow and the rocks. But what is that? Is that a hole in the rock? You feel a glimmer of hope, and twisting your body around with all of your might, you dive into the alcove and feel the push of snow forcing you deeper inside. Then the world turns black before your eyes. Yeah, man, that's just the prologue. Holy crap, this is long. Holy crap. Yee. Okay, I'm going to try and read these a little bit quicker. Someone is currently in a white void. The story gets pretty close to home with all of the snow talk. I'm going to try and get through these a little bit quicker so that we can get to solving puzzles and gaming. A little later, you awaken and find yourself on the icy rock floor. You're half covered in rubble and snow, but you can move. You struggle to catch your breath as you stomp free and warily straighten yourself upright. It takes a while for your body to stop shaking, and a few tears run down your cheeks. It was so close. You can't believe that you survived. The rumbling outside has now stopped. Instead, there's an eerie silence. You hastily throw off your skis, sticks, and ski mask. You grab your mobile phone from inside your pocket of your jacket, but there's no reception, and you don't have a transmitter. You test whether you can make a hole through the snow with your ski poles, but you quickly come across ice sheets and rubble. You won't get any further here. Somehow, you have to get out of this place. By the time you are missed and someone finds you here in the avalanche, you will have long since starved to death. You turn away from the buried entrance. With icy fingers, you turn on your mobile phone torch and shine it in all directions. Torch is flashlight, by the way, for those of us in the US. Sure you're supposed to read the whole thing at once? It actually continues onward, because there's like another page down to here, page 5, and then we get to page 1 here, and actually tells you at the bottom of this page that you're supposed to open door 1, which is right here. Which actually looks really freaking cool, because it actually shows like a cave entrance and everything with the lights and everything and some gear. It actually looks really like thematic for this. Can you guys see that okay? I hope. If you can't see it okay, let me know. I'll see what I can do. You survived. You turn away from the buried entrance, like fingers on your torch, but shine in all directions. What you thought was a niche in the rock seems more like a corridor. You trace your fingertips along the walls. They are peculiarly smooth and even. A few meters in front of you, the passage opens to a larger cave. The light of your torch doesn't go very far, and stalagmites and stalactites throw shadows across the cave walls. You try to recall the name for stalactites that have grown into one another, of which there are also a few here, but you just can't think of it. Are you slowly regaining some of your optimism? If there's an entrance, might there also be an exit? You decide to explore the cave as systematically as possible and start to move forward. Small stones continue to crunch under your bulky ski boots. You keep your torch shining into the darkness. There, a few meters in front of you, something is glistening. But what? You move away from the wall to have a closer look. The nearer you get, the more sure you are that it has to be something ice. But not just a simple block of ice, no. It almost looks like a figure, as if someone tried to make a bear out of ice. What a strange place for an ice sculpture. From your new location, you look around and discover even more of these ice forms. Incredible! Many look like mountain animals, while others appear to be mythical creatures. The further you go inside the cave, the larger and more detailed the figures get. This is actually getting quite interesting. Thought you were going to read the whole book? I mean, we're going to keep going like every stream with more and more of these, so it's not too far out of the realm of possibility. Because, I mean, this is like a long book. Like, this is like 60 pages. This is like 60 pages of lore and documentation and everything, and all sorts of fun stuff. So like, I'm really looking forward to this. The other part of the book is actually, like, even though it's like instructions and everything over here, it also has like a guide. I'm at the whole book right now. I'm not actually going to read the whole book right now. I'm just going to read until it gets us to the part where it says, open door 1. So we've only got another 2 pages to go. Actually less, because the top of the page is actually slightly different. Oh, interesting. I'll show you guys this once we get a little bit closer to that section. Wild theories run through your head. Was there once an exhibition here? But this would be a very strange place for it. Perhaps an eccentric artist stores their sculptures in the cave. What is far more important is that someone has already been in this cave before you. So it is quite possible that there is another exit here too. It is a bit scary, however, to be observed by the silent eyes of ice, and you want to hurry to the other end of the cave. Just then, you kick something, and a metallic clank sounds in the stillness. I wish I had something metallic that I could just kind of clink on. You shine the torch downward and discover a rusty carabiner, which you must have caught with your shoe. Not far away is a frayed rope. Perhaps these are left over from transporting the ice sculptures? You let your gaze wander and find more surprising things. 2 pickaxes, a dusty box full of tattered ropes, and an old tin can containing rusty nails. Finally, you discover a rag bag of old helmets. Slowly, a new idea comes to you. Might an expedition to this cave have taken place in the past? Next to you, all the junk lies in a new surprise. Gigantic mountain boots. A look at the shoe sole tells you size 18. They're definitely the biggest boots you've ever seen. In any case, they're not an alternative for your ski boots, and you put them back again. But the boots look pretty new, and someone must have left them here. You shine the light more thoroughly around you and discover more of these ice sculptures. You are particularly impressed by an extremely detailed life-size bear figure. Behind it stands a huge eagle, and further back, 2 strange monk-like ice figures flank a flight of stairs. Your eyes slide back to... Wait a minute. A staircase. You quickly rush towards it. You weren't mistaken. The 2 identical ice figures actually stand on a staircase carved into the rock. And this is where this is actually looking really cool to me. Like, I'm just going to finish this text, and then I'll describe to you why this is actually pretty cool to me. With shaky knees, you begin to climb the stairs. Climb the stairs. Ooh, we're already getting into October. Whoever wrote this loves their details. Honestly, I'm really digging it too. Oh. Yeah, I love reading stories like this, especially when I can get like really into a character voice for it. Which, let me know if I'm failing to enunciate anything properly. With shaky knees, you begin to climb the stairs. After a few meters, you notice a light in the distance. Is anyone there? As glad as you would be to find help, it occurs to you that the inhabitants might be pretty odd to live in such a crazy house. And what would they eat? Hopefully not skiers. But that's crazy. Now that some light is shining in the distance, you turn off your torch to adjust your eyes to the darkness. You try to be as quiet as possible. After all, you never know what might be ahead of you. But the faint shimmer magically attracts you, and you continue to climb the stairs towards a doorway. The first riddle begins on the calendar sheet, 1st December. Carefully tear out the calendar sheet before reading it. I mean, why do I want to tear it out? I'm just going to leave it all in the book. But the reason why I really liked this is, I'm going to actually have to pull this forward a bit to show it to you guys, but on the top half of the book, in the words of Tobuscus, don't forget to enunciate. But this is really cool to me because, like, at the very top, like in the top half of the book, it's got like a whole mountain scene here. And in the page on day 1, it shows you like the ski lodge and everything and the green flag, which actually matches up perfectly with what's in the book. Like, it's like a 1-to-1. Here, let me even... There you go. Yeah, it's like 1-to-1 as to what's in the book. Like, that is cool. No, enunciate. In. Yes, it is actually enunciate. But, okay, so, December 1st. You walk up the last steps of the stone staircase. Pressed against the wall, you peer into the room in front of you. A cave glimmers with a ghostly blue light. You wait for a second, but since you hear nothing there, you venture further in. Behind a stack of nailed shut wooden boxes, you spot a large metal grate. An exit! You immediately hurry towards it, but after a good shake you could tell it will not open easily. Then you discover a strong-looking lock. You focus your torch on the lock for a closer look. It is a combination lock, but what code opens it? Ah, there's also a small piece of paper caught in the lock, which of course you read through immediately. At first, you don't know what to do with the strange clue. You let your eyes wander. Next to the boxes, there are all kind of other things strewn about. You actually find some matches that you can use to light a few candles. You can now put your phone away again. You look at the other objects that are laying around the supposed warehouse. Several of the objects still look relatively usable and could be of use to you. But, of course, the mysterious artist also left a few ice sculptures behind. Especially striking is a gigantic ice swan perched in the alcove. You take another look at the clue on the mysterious note. Is there anything else on here that will help you determine the correct number code? Now, open door number 1. American school systems. Yeah.
Hello there.
How you going, Gab? How's everybody doing tonight? I hope you're all doing absolutely fantastic. And I hope that you've enjoyed my reading of this so far. You know, there's some of the best English teachers up there. Mostly because they were nice people. Yeah. Nice people are really nice to have as teachers. But I really hope that you guys are all doing well, and I hope that you've enjoyed that little bit of a reading that we just did. That was quite a bit longer than I thought it was going to be. But we now get to solve the puzzle. So, we open door number 1. So, I gotta find a way to show this a little bit more clearly. Unfortunately, I can't really even get the lights any brighter. I think this is as bright as the lights go for this. But, I mean, overall, this actually works out pretty well. I think we can do so much in a second. Yeah, that's true. But, let's see. Door number 1. So we got 2 hexagons and a triangle on this door. I don't know what that actually compares to, but if it were to match these, it would be here, here, hexagon, hexagon, triangle. So the code on that would be 322. So like that would be like if we were trying to figure out this code to determine if we were in the right location. Once we get the right combination to open this door, the symbols will actually guide us in a specific direction. So if we were to start from door number 1 and we went in this direction, so it would be here, off the board, and then back down this way. So if we were like here, we would go here, here, and here. Still actually knocking us off the board, but for the time being, that's about all we got. The next page is actually an entire section here that we're not going to read because that's day 2. Day number 1, we get to open the door. Okay. I don't want to tear this. Ooh. Okay, this looks pretty cool. We got we got riddle card A, and we actually got an ice swan. Okay. So we got the text on this. What cool things you find in this cave? There are sculptures that deceive the eye. The items in the room help you crack the code from left to right. So here, I'm gonna take the camera off the tripod for a moment so I could show you guys what's all in here. Kind of crunch that down a little bit. But yeah, so like in the room, we could see off to the side, we've got like full detail on this whole thing breaking into this place. I wish I had a little bit more. Oh, I do have a little bit more slack. Okay. So with a little bit more slack, you can see that there's, I don't want to cover the camera, but there's all sorts of things hidden around through this room. It's fully set up in here. I don't really expect this whole puzzle to be incredibly difficult, but it's really cool to see how intricate they did all of these things. I mean, there's even like an icicle or an ice sculpture penguin painted on the walls. It's like, this looks really, really cool. Okay. There are numbers, yes. Ah. That was like one of the first things that I noticed is that there's one that's got a 1 on the back of this thing. Nope. Wrong direction. Come on. Okay. So, so like looking at this thing, I feel like I already know how to solve this one. Because like I'm seeing on here, I've got numbers are always important from left to right. One of those symbols on the other doors look like a hive ghost. Curious which one looks like a hive ghost. Unless you're talking like the Star of David here, like the 6-pointed star, or what else we got in here? We got a 6-pointed star, we got a diamond, crescent moon, hexagon, triangles, plus signs, L's, squares, circles. Okay. So we got a swan here, and it actually looks like it's perforated. So you can actually see that there's like the neat thing about all of these escape the room puzzle boxes. They make a bunch of these. I actually have a few of them, and I was actually thinking about doing 1 or 2 of them on stream. But I think if I were to do them, I would probably have another device like over here somewhere, so that way I could see chat without having to turn back to the monitor. I'm moving the box to look like a hive ghost. Maybe I'm seeing things. That's fair. That's fair. But we have a we now have a little swan, and yeah. So like the little diamonds on the bottom of this thing also have like they have the same kind of perforated on them. So I have a feeling those are probably going to punch out too. I'm going to use my pencil to punch these out. In fact, I'm going to put the lead away. Because I have a feeling that because we got diamonds here, and diamonds on the cards from the swan. So I kind of feeling like just kind of manipulate everything as best as we can based off of what we have. Swan was in an alcove. So you can see on here we've got the number lock. Going from left to right, I've got an 8 on a bag, 8 on a red bag, a 2 on a blue canteen, 1 on a red flashlight. Looks like a 4 on a map, 9 on some rope, 3 on those big ass boots. Oops. 7 on some blue skis, 5 on a red helmet, and 6. I'm really sorry if that's causing more problems in this. Does not take long to play Mist. Yeah. Yeah, I still got to take a look at that Mist the Mist trailer that you mentioned, Gob. Maybe we'll take a quick peek at that while we're loading up Phasmo for the night. But I'm guessing diamonds and diamonds. Line up. Oh. Now see, this is really neat. Let me see if I can get this into a spot where you guys can see it clearly. Find the red items in the room. Is not optimized for ultra widescreen. Okay, so it said find the red items in the room. We got that on the card. So we've got an 8, a 1, and a 5. So we got 8 on the left, 1 on the back wall, and 5 on the right. So then we would have to go down here. So we got 8, and then 1, and then 5. Which gives us upper left, left, and bottom right, which then goes from moon diamond, diamond. Which means this right here is correct, as far as I could tell. But there's a lot of like hidden little Easter eggs on this thing that I'm just noticing. Like there's like a little like an up arrow for an elevator down here that's kind of blocked by Tony, and now blocked by George. Yeah, there's like a little plus sign in this, or not a plus sign, an elevator up button on the rock here. There's a lot of stuff like hidden in here, but the way that you could tell from what I was reading with the instructions. Yep. Yeah, 815. So we've got, you go up left, left, and then bottom right.
Blood for the blood god!
Which when it brings us all the way back down to here, you can tell that this is the right one because we've got, I can't really see because of George in the way here, but symbol-wise, we've got crescent moon, diamond, diamond. Same, it matches on the symbols here. So we know that this door, when we come back on Friday, I don't have a pen, so it's not going to be as easy to see on here. I also don't have a marker. This definitely is something where I would recommend using a marker to write on these boards, so that way you don't punch through anything, you don't damage anything. But we know that this door down here is going to be number 2 for us when we come back on Friday. And because it actually tells you you might use some stuff again in the future, I'm going to put these cards. Whoa, everything's purple. I'm guessing that's Tony. Yeah. I'm going to take the riddle card that we received, which has also a fruit on the bottom there. I can't really tell what kind of fruit that is unless I'm looking back at it again. Oh no, it's not a fruit. It's a little present wrapped up. Diversifying content. Well, you're right. We're right about to get back to gaming, because that was door number 1. Completed, solved, and answered. And now we wait for day number 2, which will continue on Friday. Perfect timing with the sound effect, too. Okay. Yeah. So, with that clip will actually be fully uploaded as its own highlight separately on YouTube. I'm going to make a playlist as we go through this whole thing. I got to switch my microphone back around to the other style. There we go. Okay, so close that box up. Exit the game. Advent calendar.